Hey everyone, Sparks back with that 2B video, or another Goddess of Victory Nikke video as I would normally say. I just released a Pascal video, so if you haven't seen that yet, check that out right after you watch this one. Pascal actually looks surprisingly good, but 2B is the lady we're talking about in this video, and holy cake, I was not expecting that view, I'll say that. 2B is, 2B's bringing the sauce, we'll say that. So she is a Burst 3 defender with an assault rifle, fire code, we knew that already, but let's dive into her actual skills. Skill 1 is Survival. It is a passive and activates when using her burst skill and affects herself. Now this is interesting. Just by that wording, it does not mean you have to go into full burst, which is good, so if somebody goes down, this could still activate. So just when you use a burst skill, and technically that kind of implies any burst skill, meaning like it could go off when you do your burst 1, then your burst 2, and then your burst 3. However, I don't think that's what that actually means. I think that probably means that it goes off when she uses her burst skill, but you know, hey, we can dream. So anyway, it changes its effect depending on how many times it has activated. So when you activate it once, her HP goes up by 10% continuously, so there's no time limit on this, just forever her HP goes up by 10%. On the second activation, her HP goes up by 20%, and then on the third activation, her max HP goes up by 57.76%. So she is getting huge amounts of HP here. The only other unit that I can think of that is just anywhere doing similar anything with HP like this is Nier, and Nier becomes like nearly invincible when she stacks up all her HP. This is very, very good looking, I have to say. Now, granted, since it's probably each time she actually uses her burst, and she is a burst 3, you're not going to be able to stack this very quickly, but theoretically you could get up to very, 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 very high HP. Alright, so skill 2, Cluster Bomb. It's another passive, activates after firing 300 times, and affects all enemies. Note that this does not have to hit 300 times, just after firing 300 times, so that's significantly easier to trigger. And it deals 167% of final attack as damage, and affects all enemies. This is quite strong. That's a lot of damage that just hits the whole field, and then it has another part, activates when entering the battle. So just right away, as soon as the battle starts, also note that this is not when the target appears like some units like Viper. This is just when entering the battle, and her attack goes up by 6.16% of the caster's final max HP continuously. So again, there's no time limit on this. She just forever gets a 6% buff to her attack based on her HP. So whatever her final HP stat is, including all of her armor, any buffs that she has, although buffs wouldn't be going off as soon as she enters, but any armor, this is going to be a lot of HP that she could potentially have, and she's going to get 6% of that. So big attack buff right away. Her burst is a 40-second cooldown, as we would expect, of course, for a burst 3. And this is another one that looks quite strong. Affects all enemies and deals 2,439% of final attack as distributed damage. Now note that that is an enormous HP percentage, but it is distributed damage, so very similar to Dorothy. The more enemies are on the field, the less it's going to do to any individual enemy. That said, if there's only one boss on the field, this is going to do an insane amount of damage. And if there's just a bunch of little weak guys, it's probably going to wipe them all as well. And there is a second effect. Affects the one enemy with the highest max HP, deals 792% of final attack as additional damage. So even if there is a giant boss out there with a bunch of ads protecting them, you're going to wipe all those and deal an additional 792% along with the distributed damage that would go to the boss too. This is amazing. I mean, we don't know what her base stats look like, but I could see this being extremely strong. If we weren't hyped to pull for 2B already, I think we should be even more so. I will be pulling for her on stream as soon as maintenance ends tomorrow in the update. I will also be doing viewer polls, so please join me for stream on Twitch and YouTube. Let me know what you think of 2B. 2B looks incredibly strong. Am I like just caught up in the hype here and the cake, or am I seeing this realistically? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you are planning to pull for her. I'll see you guys on stream later today. Don't forget to check out that Pascal video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video or the next stream.